Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the squirrels have mowed the lawn and dying time has returned to the Black Void. So we have here the Starlight Stabbers versus Water Sallies. Here's the Starlight Stabbers team. As I said before, they all look like they belong on Assassin's Creed. And yeah, I'll definitely try not to insult them. They look really like they could screw me up a bit. Alright, the last couple looked like they were going to a Halloween party. But anyway, here's the Water Sallies. They have their rat ogre back. And he's looking as even more undead than usual. In fact, they have two rat ogres. So they have, apparently, one of them is a star player, I think. Looks like one of them has some green teeth there. Could probably brush his teeth. Oh, and they have the star player with a prehensile tail. And there's one of those rat ogres who's looking big and scary. Yeah, the Starlight Stabbers are a very experienced and powerful team, and so Water Sallies need that bonus. They got a couple of mercenaries to help them. And since we're in the Starlight Stabber Stadium, you'll notice that the longer views, it's going to be a little of a bluish tint. That's because they have a magical ceiling. So, all right, they're up there in a kind of checkerboard formation close to the front. The Water Sallies are going to put up two rat ogres in the front along with Skitter. So they're two big ones, and they're also their two star players. Looks like they're being a little indecisive on what they want to do because, yeah, Starlight Stabbers are going to be rather difficult. You know, Drow are always scary to run into because they don't just hurt you on the game that you're playing. They will hurt you for longer, for the long term. They're very good at assassinations, very good at wounding your players. All right, looks like they finally have decided. And they're going to do a double flip kick. Now, the changing weather would happen, but because of the dome that's overhead, it does not change. So we're just going to have straight, warm, perfect weather. Predictable, boring weather. Alright, the rat ogre tries to start off, but is not able to. And the gutter runner gets it, goes to the center. Salacious has the ball close to the center. They're going to need a gap through there to get through. They form the box. And going to make a little bit of a gap through the right side there. Gothy is KO'd. Now, that is a good way for the Water Sallies to begin this. And after performing the blitz action, Nibbler goes back to continue to protect the ball carrier. Surly Pete has been injured by the star player Rat Ogre. And Demetrius comes up to help Skitter with his attack. Skitter may be a star player, but he's still not necessarily that strong. He uses a little bit of help. And you got a gutter runner abandons the front so he can slip on by. It's Beethoven. So this area is opened up, but the Water Sallies have two catchers in the outfield. You meanwhile have the flanks open to be exploited, which the Starlight Stabbers are going to do. They're running around the back area to take out the back of the square. Nibbler is KO'd. And they sent out cornerbacks to watch over Ratman and Beethoven, both of which are very good receivers. Star player is now following one of the Drow, but followed him right into the foot of one of the Drow other players. Alright, sending out another gutter runner. This time Skitter. And as they try to run it, they get knocked down. Now that is rather amazing when a gutter runner has what do you call it? Has dodge, because usually they get a roll twice, but sometimes it happens. Sometimes your opponent just simply gets that good of luck. And now they've created a box to protect the runner, although they have a weak point here. And Frenzy brings, Hot Topic employee to the ground. And he is injured. He's going to lose 1 point of agility. That is going to be bad for you. That was a young, promising career. The guy was only 120 years old. He had his whole life ahead of him, but now he's going to be less agile. That is not a good trait for any elf to have, let alone a drow. And now the Sewer Water Sallies are abandoning that side of the field and running far to their left side. Took a chance with another run away from somebody's attack of opportunity to complete the box, and they are trying to stop the Drow from able to go anywhere. All right, now Drow coming in. Pushing pushing one of the blockers aside, and they're going to bring some others down as well. Ratman is stunned. Ratman, the player who did so well last game, but this game is getting knocked around. They're going to bring their witch elves to the back. Maybe they can cast a curse, hurt Salacious's legs, and stop him from running. They're going to begin with a blitz. Knock the Dark Elf out of the way. Running over to protect against another one. And the runner goes towards the end zone. Will he make it? Touchdown! Sewer Water Sallies, Salacious has made a touchdown. Now, it was another gutter runner. Last game, it was the other two. Maybe this game, they'll be able to use their last two gutter runners. That was a good run by the Sewer Water Sallies. Had to push to the center, weaved a little to the left, and managed to break through. The Drow are going to have to do a bit to catch up with this. And this, what's pretty amazing about this is that the Sewer Water Sallies are the underdogs in this one. They are the lesser team, and they did poorly last season. So I guess they have come back and might actually show us a thing or two this time. I mean, it seemed like they were beating up on the new guy when they beat the Amazonians last game. But maybe there is something to this team now. Maybe they've worked out their problems, and maybe they're going to come back and surprise us as one of the better ones. Maybe it wasn't just the Amazons who lost last game, but rather the Sewer Water Sallies who won it. Okay, this time they have an interesting kind of setup because they put the two Rat Ogres in the front, but this time they put Skitter's star player a little bit back and put Logan up front. I guess a little bit of a sacrifice in case the center character gets killed or injured or something like that. At least then they haven't lost their star player that they spent points on for this particular game. And it looks like the Drow are trying to figure out what strategy to use, because last drive they were very confident in what they do, but this particular one, I mean, after the Skaven so efficiently moved through the lines, I would be concerned as well. Just going to move a little bit up to the line there. And perfect. The ball lands right next to one of the Drow. Oh, Logan is injured, and it looked like it it looked like the Starlight Stabber there had a knife. I think that he sneaked one onto there. I mean, that's against the rules. There's no way he would have done that, but it really looked like he was carrying a knife of some sort. The Drow would not be so low down and dirty as to sneak a knife onto the field, would they? Ooh, and here comes the Violent Violets. The Witch Elf there, using her high heels to kick back the Skaven Gutter Runner. She's like, oh my god, a rat! Kill it! And it looks like they're making slow but sure progress. Everyone pushing along the right side there. And there, the ball was just perfectly placed for Vic Emo, to get that ball and to just continue to run with it. There's somebody gone on the other side of the field. Skaven are now doing their best to create a guarding situation, which looks really good there. I mean, the Drow still, of course, have to the left, but they've got this gigantic monster over there, and all in the center, all directly in front of them, they've got a swarm of rats. Oh, and the Rat Ogre gets in further, but goes too far for his own good, and gets knocked unconscious. That's the problem with Frenzy, is you can't control it. They will knock somebody back, you're fine with it, but then they've knocked them into a position where your opponent is so much stronger that the Frenzy actually hinders you rather than helps you. And now it looks like the Drow are setting up for some sort of pass. I mean, they're not going to pass at this particular turn, or maybe they will if the ball carrier hasn't gone yet, but they are getting themselves at least prepared for at some point to be passing the ball. Yes, they're going to send another player out there as well. And they've created that gap. They're going to use it, dang it. Running a few players down that center area. This is a good strategy on their part because they do want to have an open area through which to pour their players. And this is another one of those games where I'm kind of surprised we're only on turn 4. A lot has happened already. I guess that's what you'd get when you get a couple of nimble teams. And here's another thing you get with nimble teams is a lot of throws, and the ball has fallen to the ground. So once again, the ball is free, and the Water Sallies definitely know what to do with plays like that. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And they go in for the pickup. And who is this that has this again? Riddler has the ball. Yes, like I said, it's this particular game. It's the two who did not have much going last game. And now having the ball, they're going to push through over there on their side. In fact, they're going to go from defending against the Drow running their direction to defending against the Drow coming at their player. The roles have reversed, and here comes the Drow. And knocked him back, but not down. He still has it in him to run up for the touchdown. They are desperately running up there since they have already used their blitz, so they're going to try to send as many of their players up there to stop this run as possible. Either that, or they are simply going to knock down all of the Skaven so they don't have any more players next half. And one of them tries to slip past the prehensile tail and just simply cannot do it. They did not read the rules, apparently, on that prehensile tail, which reads, "You try to slip by this, your ass is grass, mofo." And it goes, speaking of that Rat Ogre, it goes to do some damage. And no reroll! The Skaven are going to lose this turn from that lost opportunity. Oh, now this is a turning point. The Skaven had a chance of pulling what they did against the Amazonians, getting into the touchdown, but they have to remember, they are not playing against the bad luck, what are they called? The bad luck, Betties. That's what I'll call them, bad luck Betties. They have more than that, but anyway, they're not up against them now. They're against the Drow, who know what to do and are getting the luck to follow up. So they have cleared away the Skaven. You can see the Skaven are all around there. There's one on the ground there, one there, one there. But they've messed them up. They've rather cleared this area for their own player to go running through. Apparently, the witches think something's quite funny. They're making themselves available out in the open field. But of course, the Skaven are not licked yet. They're going to send their gutter runner up behind. And they're going to do their best to cover up in front, but it's a little hard even for them. Even for Skaven. You don't hear that very often. It's too far for a Skaven. But this time it might be. And it is a knockdown if ever I saw one. Alright, Starlight Stabbers getting the Skaven out of the way. Blitz gonna get one of their Storm Vermin out of the way, so the ball player can get up to there and possibly even make a pass. Oh, and the ball carrier gets tripped! He's down, but for how long? Oh, and now he gets away. And now slips further and passes it. Oh, and it is interrupted by Anthrax Joe! Anthrax Joe now has the ball! The Drow were setting themselves up for a touchdown to be able to score this half, but now the Skaven have intercepted it from them and may just get a score of their own. What an exciting turn of events. And now here goes Skaven. But they're not going to make it, so they just do a little bit of a game of catch there. Just to get a little experience, because they weren't going to actually do anything. Although, now the Starlight Stabbers still have a turn. Can they get the ball and get a touchdown? This may have been a very sloppy thing for the Water Sallies to be practicing. Anthrax Joe is past the ball. It goes for the touchdown! Water Sallies really screwed that one up. Stephanie Vinecutter in the last play of the half managed to make it, and she gives herself a thumb down. I don't know, I think that she should be a little more self-confident. That was actually, they stole the victory out from under the nose of the Skaven. They should have just held on to the ball, made it harder to tackle them, and then we would be looking at a 1-0 going into the halftime. But Skaven are rats, they have rat brains, may not be thinking completely clearly. Plus, they might have eaten some garbage with some alcohol in it. So, they're coming running out. You can see the ceiling above, and now this is going to make it worse for the Skaven. They have to kick it off. So, after really coming out strong at the beginning of the game, they mess things up for themselves right at the end. So the Skaven are worked up. They want to make sure they're probably going to be more careful this time, and they're probably going to be aggressive because they want to answer for that unanswered mistake. And they're missing their smaller star player. They have the two rat ogres, but their star player in the center, their star missionary, is not there. The Starlight Stabbers have an interesting setup. They have a sort of T section in the middle. Changing weather again won't happen because of the ceiling. But yeah, you can see they have sort of an I formation there with a couple of them in the backfield and a couple of runners. So I guess this front line will be their battle line, and these two will be their reserves. That's how I'm reading it. Violent Violet. Goes chasing down Salacious until he is stunned. Pushed him back once, but of course had a frenzy and just couldn't leave it alone. She just had to keep pushing and pushing him until he was down. Now the ball carrier has run up and tossed it to Gothy, who gets a little bit of ways. Actually, he gets to the point where he can still be protected. But man, yeah, he's pretty open towards that backfield or towards that end zone, and the Skaven do not have a lot to stop them now. Of course, Skaven can be all over the field, so don't discount them yet. But that is going to be trouble for them, especially now that they are going up forward to guard a lot of these players. This is going to be tricky for the Skaven to answer to, but they're definitely going to meet up to the challenge. Oh, but now they cannot get a player back there. Are they going to use the reroll? Yes, they will. And he's going to make it away this time. And he's going to guard next to the at the out-of-bounds area. And here comes the blitz. Gonna knock him back. And without dodge, the ball's now going to go loose. Wild Animal tries to go, but he is just too wild. And that is a run most of the way across the field. Demetrius, that is what you like to see from these Skaven. Going all the way from one end of the field to the other. Ratman as well. Getting themselves into position to reclaim that ball. And he's going to slap the Dro's bear behind. He's going to go falling back. All right, now heads over to the Dro. I don't think that Stephanie Vinecutter realizes that the ball is loose, and same also with Roar XDLL, although it could be just overconfidence, because even though they don't have the ball, they may just be believing they're going to get it, and sure enough, their faith in themselves has paid off. He has moved, he's going to throw it. And this time the ball is not intercepted. It goes to Vic. Oh no, it goes from Vic Emo to, I looked at him before, to Raw XD LOL. There we go. And they use a re-roll in the center to take down Nibbler. He is out of, well, possibly out of this entire half. They're going to bring their other players around so that now everybody is on, almost everybody is on the Water Sallies side of the field. Now goes back to Water Sallies. Let's see how they answer this pass to one of the players in the middle of the field. And all they get is a knockback. That is going to work well for the Dro. Starlight Stabbers might just be able to have it, so the Water Sallies are going to try to surround the player as much as possible to make it very difficult for him to get out of there. And some more knocking around. Oh, and they try to send Beethoven over to get in the way of the runner, but he gets tripped up along the way, and now he's unconscious and out of the field. Skaven might just be losing a lot of players on, if they end up getting the ball again, it might be difficult for them to be able to do much without their players who are getting knocked around. Or knocked out of the play area. Ratman is stunned, although he won't... Oh, and there goes the ball. He goes running by, and touchdown, Starlight Stabbers. Roar XD LOL. Goes in for the touchdown and does his little dance. I mean, a lot of these are named after 80s bands, and so I think it's quite appropriate to just say that he looked a bit like David Bowie doing a little bit of a celebration dance there. Only these Dark Elves are a little bit more douchey, so it's more like a douchey David Bowie. Alright, goes back to the... it's going to be kicked now to the Skaven. They have got... Actually, they've got most of this half still left to go. 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 turns to go. Skavens really only need 2, and technically could actually make a touchdown in 1. So, there is plenty of time for them to do something with this. The Starlight Stabbers have a box in the backfield, mostly a line in the front. I'm not sure what the Water Sallies did. We can take a quick look at theirs. Yeah, it was almost mimicking the... it's almost like they're making fun of the Drow there. Alright, and the catch comes in, but it does not land in his hands, in Spot's hands. So Spot's going to go pick it up and get himself set up for a run. But they're going to need to get the Metalhead, the Starlight Stabber Metalhead, out of the way. Oh, and the Rat Ogre gets knocked down! This is bad news for the Skaven, because now the way is open for some of them to get to the ball carrier. That may just have cost the Water Sallies their chance at getting another touchdown. Although Penguin is just in the right place at the right time, he has the ability to stand firm, which means when he's knocked down, he cannot be knocked back. And so he stood in place, and as a result, the Starlight Stabbers were not able to get in there to the runner. They did bring Gothy towards the back, but they were not able to get in the front. But here we go, and he's going to get knocked out. Spot is going to get knocked down. The ball is going to come loose. And the ball goes stumbling back closer to the Drow touchdown. They're going to try to send somebody back there to get the ball. I don't know that they're in range. So instead, they're going to go to cover some of the Skaven, which is probably a wise move. Arr, apparently they have a pirate on their team. And apparently they have somebody who's constipated. The Water Sallies, they're going to go pick that ball up. That's Beethoven, has the ball, is going to run around to the other side to get himself some protection. Again, the Skaven can, once you think it's on one side of the field, they can run, get to the other side of the field and make the game an entirely different game. And they are not able to use their blitz action because of Wild Animal, but they are going to go back and create that box. Ratman is now in place. He is not going to go up against Vic Emo. And he tries to go slipping by, but gets tripped up by 2 of them. That was actually kind of a ballsy move, even trying to get between those. Who was that? That was Demetrius. Oh, that's one of their new players, I believe. Alright, and so here comes a blitz into the back. It seems like Starlight Stabbers like to hit the back of the box rather than the front of it. They don't like to go in the front as much as they like to come in from behind. They're going to send up a couple of players along the sideline. And kick back. Oh, you know what? I just noticed that is their Skaven star players back in the game. Skitter got kicked back and is now guarding the front of the ball carrier. There's a little indecisiveness from Starlight Stabbers. And once again, the Water Sallies are not able to use Snowball. He just is having bad luck with his wild animal rolls. He just does not want to be involved in this game. He is too much of a wild animal. Here comes a blitz. near the front. Gonna get one of the Starlight Stabbers out of the way. But it looks like he didn't knock him down. He merely knocked him back. Here comes the Gutter Runner with the ball. Oh no, the ball's... I missed it. The Beethoven, the Skaven are so slick that they slipped by the main line without me even seeing it. And now, look at that. They've got a wide open field to the touchdown. And to make sure that the Starlight Stabbers can't come back and get them, they're going to knock down as many of them along this line as possible. Oh, and here comes the Blitz, manages to get away. And is only able... Oh, he has to reroll. And it is not enough to take down somebody with dodge. Beethoven still retains control of the ball. The way to the end zone is not clear, but he is still holding on to it. That is an important move right there. Gonna beat up on Demetrius a little bit more. They come around, block. Oh, now they've got him blocked in. What is this, Beethoven? Oh man, now that is, talk about having a player blocked in. That is some overkill right there. They wanted to guard him, but this is really guarding him. Skitter has been stunned, so their star player is down. This is bad news for the Skaven. Just look at it. Oh, and the last one comes in to just finally complete the box, completely guard him. They know that the Skaven have the ability to slip out, so they don't want to take any chances. They're like, no, we're just going to guard him 100%. There's going to be no way that he can get out of that. That's that is saying, okay, we have a fear, and then completely doing overkill. They've got Beethoven and Ratman completely blocked in there. Let's see what the Skaven do with their turn. How they try to slip out of this little box. Looks to me pretty hopeless. Well, now they're going to send the Rat Ogre over there. And they're going to perform their blitz on Violet. Oh, gonna knock not only her out of the way, but then the player, and he slips out. Penguin has managed to make it through. Shadowing failure, he's going towards the touchdown, and touchdown! They got out of that impossible situation. That was unbelievable. The Drow thought they had him blocked in there, but then pushing one of the players out managed to do a domino effect, which set him free, well, almost completely free, and he managed to slip out of the grasp of two of their players, including one who had shadowing. Wow. What a play. That was absolutely incredible. The odds were completely against the Skaven, and yet they managed to pull it off. That was a play. That is one of the plays that deserves a lot of cheers. The game is tied up 2-2. Let's see if the Starlight Stabbers can come back and make this a victory, or if the Water Sallies are able to pull what they did against the Amazons and still get in there and score a point within only a couple of... Oh, they do have the perfect defense, so maybe they can slip in there and pull what they did against the Amazons and turn this into a victory of theirs with 2 plays. If it sounds crazy, well, you gotta just look at that last play that happened to realize how possible crazy things are in this game of Blood Bowl. All right. So here goes. Oh, it's interesting that she chose to do an attack on the player in the further away. She is going to create a hole on the far right, and then she's going to continue. Her blitz action knocked away Salacious on the sideline, and then made her continue forward. Vic Emo is going to get the ball, go to the center. He already has one receiver out there. He needs to do this in 2 turns. Can he pull it off? All right, he's going to bring back a couple of blockers. That's, I guess, what the I formation is there, is to have enough people that can block once they have the ball. And now they're going to open up a gap there on the far left. After doing her dancing move, she's going to land on her high heels. I do not understand how women are able to do that. And one of them tries to slip away, but the Skaven are not going to let him do that. They use their last reroll to get into position. I don't know if that was really worth a reroll, but I guess they're trying to make them open up. I think they would need their reroll for that last push, the very, very last throw that they're going to need to do. But we're going to see. Skaven are going to get into position to guard against the pass and against the run. Of course, we've seen what happens when somebody tries to get blocked in. Oh, they're actually going to try to bring her down. Violent Violet gets taken down. So their only person who would be in range of getting into the end zone has been taken down. That actually was probably a worthwhile play there. Now the Sewer Water Sallies are going to try to get into the ball and possibly get it for themselves. I don't think that they can do it now that I think about it, though, because the runner is blocked in. They would have to actually slip by the players to get to him. Otherwise, they have to use their blitz action to take down one of the blockers. Oh, but the Sewer Water Sallies do have 2 turns, so if they're able to take down one of those blockers, they might next turn be able to go after the ball. Or are they not even bothered? Oh, they've already used their blitz against... Yeah, they had a choice between a blitz over at the ball carrier or the runner, and they've decided to go defensive. And... who is that? Stephanie Vinecutter is going to take down one of the Skaven players just for vengeance sake. They really can't do anything at this point, but they are going to try to give themselves some experience points. One of them tries to get out of the range of Skaven. They're not going to let that happen. And goes to the last play of the game. Let's see what the Skaven do here. They still have a chance because they can knock these guards down with their regular action. And then with the blitz, they go in for the ball. With no rerolls, all they're able to do is knock him back. And that is going to finish it. They're not going to be able to do anything more. And there is the end of the game. Tied 2-2. I think it was wise of the Skaven to not continue fighting as well, because they could only injure their own players, especially up against Dro with pointy sticks. All right, so we have well, in fact, speaking of pointy sticks, Scary Knife Dude is the MVP for the Dark Elves, and Riddler is the MVP for the Skaven. Tied 2-2. Statistics here, you can see Sewer Water Sallies actually had the ball 50% of the time. You had a couple passes on the part of the Starlight Stabbers, none on the side of the Skaven. And a lot of yards running on both sides. So there's the rest of your statistics. SPP, Scary Knife Dude, with Stephanie Vinecutter, Rar, who got one of the touchdowns, Anthrax Joe, and Vicky Mo. On the other side, Riddler, Big Rat, Salacious Baldy, and Beethoven. And there's your dice rolls for this evening. So that'll do it for us here. We hope you enjoyed this. We certainly did. That was a really exciting one. I'm sorry we didn't have a victory, but wow, what a what a play to get them to where they were at, especially with the Dark Elf team being more experienced. That really wound up. You would think that there's going to be just a runaway, but nope. The Skaven managed to bring it to a tie. So anyway, that'll do it for us here. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe to see more, and happy gaming, everybody.